2.
Women bled, beads and fish change hands, and children stayed up late. Colored drum set splashed the night. There was a taxidermist grinning with delight, but now he's gone. Ah, yeah, only the stones remain. Girls were decked in flowers and ovulated while boys spat juice from out of their fresh young bulbs. Just watch me now. Soldiers crossed their hearts and died, and pretty girls turned cold inside, but now they're gone. Ah, yeah, only the stones remain. Stones have forgotten that. The stones have forgotten them. They break your body and drain the life out of it. It sinks into the soil while the soul flies up into the air above. And when there's no more tears to cry, there's nothing left to do but laugh. Stained glass elaborations collapse. Candy floss evaporates, honey. Only the stones remain.
Oh, thank you. Welcome to this resurrection of live music. And thank you for taking the chance on coming alive, staying alive. Thank you for staying alive and taking the chance on this kind of music happening again in real life. And a special welcome to our streaming friends, the Groovers, who've been keeping Emma and I alive for the last 18 months by watching our show that we do from our bunker at undisclosed locations around the world with the aid of our cats, Tubby and Ringo, and of course our lobster, Perry. Perry, Tubby and Ringo can't be here physically tonight, but they are with you in spirit, and they'll be back on your screen soon at the end of the touring season in November. Okay, just a variety of old songs tonight. Boy, tonight's master of sound is named Red, and Red is somewhere deep in yonder booth. This is my first time here, so I'm looking around like a child of wonder at everywhere. No, I know he's there. I'm just looking at y'all. Because you're there and you can see how much weight I've put on through cheese in the last 18 months. But Red, could you give us some of that fine quality old ye old chorus that you showed me earlier? Let's see what happens. Here we go. That's a tale of pure being in New York in 1986. I'm sure you were all having that experience right then. Cross-legged on the bed, she gazed across the town. Her shadow climbed the wall until the sun went down. She bought a china pug. It lay there on the bed, and in the paper bag she could just see its head. She was vibrating, she was vibrating, she was vibrating. And on the path outside, to rapture and to peace, she thought she'd kiss herself before the mirror broke. Cloudy was her breath upon the window screen. It was beautiful, some would say obscene. She was vibrating, she was vibrating, she was vibrating. And in the demon's hut, discolored flowers grew, and they had fleshy stems, fleshy petals too. To slither is sublime, to multifoliate, and I just lost my watch, I couldn't concentrate. I was vibrating, she was vibrating, you were vibrating, we were vibrating, they were vibrating, it was vibrating, she was vibrating, who was vibrating? She was vibrating. Okay, you know what? Just keep that chorus for the next number. It'll work just as well.
Lost Madonna of the wasps, I wonder where we crossed, I wonder where she lost me. Lost Madonna of the wasps, she's dying in the frost, I wonder what she cost me. Is this love? Gone, Madonna of the swans, she waves a magic wand, and then she settles on me. Wise Madonna of the flies, I look into her eyes, she doesn't recognize me. Is this love? Is this love? Madonna of the wasps. I wonder where we crossed. I wonder where she lost me. Lost Madonna of the wasps. She's dying in the frost. I wonder what she costs me. Is this love? Is this love? Thanks. Okay, Red, let's swap out the chorus for some of that rock and roll slap echo vocal that you showed me earlier on The Voice. This was requested by Julie B., who is somewhere safely in California. But she's okay, because she's a Scorpio. Satellite seems a little further out of reach. Every day the satellite seems a little further down the beach. Satellites and stags, I'm growing Betsy in a bag, and she don't mind as long as things are round. Every day the satellite, a jerky little canister of gold. Who's to be the satellite with inches of whole Betsy growing cold? I'm in its ears so far, I'm at the other side, and orbiting is just a waste of time. Next time I get into you, I swear to God I won't be out again. Swear to God I won't come out again. Satellites and stags, I'm growing Betsy in a bag, and she don't mind as long as things are round. Every day the satellite seems a little further out of reach. Back to New York again for this one. Based on the movie about the life of the New York Dolls bass player, Arthur Kane. Who wandered a long way off the rock and roll path and was dragged back there one more time by Morrissey, and then when they went to interview him, he passed away. Give us a tiny bit of chorus again. All right, thanks. I never finished the book. There's always someone to be loved or to be forgotten. But if you take a long look, well, there's always someone young and fresh, or cold and rotten. One in a million people I was a New York doll. I was really something on the map that never ends. I was the pulse of it all. But there's always poison to drink alone or to share with friends. 1 in a million people hit you like a window pane. Sincerely I remain Arthur Kane. I found myself in the church. I needed something greater than the world I knew. But in the library of your memory, people live in their books till the pages close. They close on me like they're gonna close on you. 1 in a million people matter, and then they're gone again. Sincerely I remain Arthur Kane. Arthur Kane. Thank you. So some things are consistent. Before everything shut down, whenever I was on tour with a glass of water, I would point out, or even a bottle, I would point out to the audience that there was no goldfish in it. My pledge holds true in 2021. There is still no goldfish in my water. Thank you, friends. But apropos of goldfish, it's one of the superpowers of our species is the ability we have to give names to things that can't give names to us, or if they can, we don't know that they're talking about us. So we don't actually know what a lemur or an ocelot might be saying about us at all. It's like being insulted in a language you don't speak. You just smile and wave like the Queen does in Britain. But nonetheless, we give names to creatures that don't speak our language, and we give names to creatures that have been extinct for billions of years. I mean, we even invented billions. As far as we know, they may have invented billions, given that they lived that long. This particular creature, the trilobite, lived for 252 million years and 17 days and 5 seconds, and then became extinct for reasons we have yet to determine. But I guess they knew what it was. Anyway, they've gone, but they're like sort of shaving devices from the 1940s, and they clicked. They moved along the ocean bed, and in those days, almost everything was covered by water, and they click a lot, and we know this because it's a fact. So there were the oceans of the earth were thronged with the sounds of muted clicking. In other words, you couldn't hear them, but there were a lot of them. And had you been able to hear them, what you would have heard was them clicking. So they were down there, and then they became extinct. And then millions of years later, we discovered them in fossilized form and said, "Yeah, let's call it the trilobite." It's a bit like as if
your name had been Lars, but actually they put you in a museum in the Smithsonian and said you'd been called Penelope. That's what happened. The chorus of the song, it has no relation to the narrative because it's important. I don't know how many of you are songwriters, but I assume most of you. Y'all look like songwriters. But you know, one of the things is the verse, it's helpful if it's in contrast to the what's going on in the verses, if the chorus is different. Otherwise, it's like loading up tomatoes with more tomatoes. Hello, I'd like some tomatoes. Yes, and what would you like with them? Tomatoes. Immediately, that bespeaks lopsidedness. And so, you know, if the verse is a tomato, then the chorus is a grapefruit, basically. So the chorus of this, it references Elton John's original surname, and he's in a kind of very cheap coffee bar in Britain in the late 60s before he became famous. It's not a reference to President Eisenhower. Okay, take one. Trilobite, right, Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. Trilobite, right, Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. Basking on the shores of time. The little stone creature ain't dead to the world. They call him Trilobite, right, Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. Clicking away for a second of fame. A billion years later they give it a name. They call him Trilobite, right, Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. Trilobite, right, Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. When I'm too wasted these rocks to clamber, well, lean me on the cliff and encase me in amber. And a creature from the future in Way Out When can clop my fossil and name me Sven. That's a nice name. Built for a world where nothing needs shaving. Look at them stone antennae waving. Trilobite and right, and Dwight's in the light bite. Trilobite, right in the light bite, Dwight. Let's hold a clicking championship. The Trilobite wins and everybody else loses. Trilobite. Trilobite. Thanks. A bit more slap echo on the voice for this one, please. Ready? Here we go. Time is written on your face, and the cold white arms of memory embrace you. Love is all we laid to waste. Now it's only lips of loneliness that taste you. Oh God, you were beautiful. Oh God, you were beautiful. Oh
Oh God, Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. Me, I never left the room. The light bulb that shone down on me was gloomy. I could reach you by the moon. The way you looked at me, I thought you knew me. Oh God, you were beautiful. Oh God, you were beautiful. Oh God. Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. What could anybody say? Except in hindsight, this was bound to happen. When two souls collide this way, there's no compartment they can find a map in. I don't know what your mind is thinking. Your mind's not in your heart. Oh God, you were beautiful. Oh God, you look beautiful. Oh God. Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. Mad Shelley's letterbox is full of birthday cards. Ah, ah, ah. Thanks.
Okay, so what's happened here is I've walked round to the piano. It's very much at the angle that I would be. If I was flying it, it would be like this. It's no good, especially if your piano skills are fairly limited, like mine are. There has to be fairly kind of oblique. So what happens is, oh, there's some brilliant colors. My God, look at this. There's lilac, and then there's a kind of multi-toned lilac, and then there's a sort of orangey lilac, and then there's a whole ridge of white. Yeah, you can see fake a photo of my face reacting to it. You can't see the color itself. It's really good. I've also got an amplifier pointing at the wall. Okay, so just imagine it's an October evening, and it's sort of there's a delicate drizzle coming down. You're outside a cathedral somewhere in Northern Europe, and you're having a drink with a dead leaf. Every so often you pause to check your phone, and you look at your sort of soggy copy of the Deutsche Zeitung paper rolled up by the side of you, and you sort of test an olive and things. It's like that. Someone's coming along, but no immediate sign of them. Here we go.
long slender shadows pulsating in windows, while feathery curtains hide fountains of eyes from the light. A different disease in another translation, though you don't understand a familiar sensation. But who goes to waste when you're tasting the flavor of night? And you, yeah, you, with your ice cream hands, you, yeah, you are my friend. All that you want could be happening for you, just like the road that unrolls there before you tonight. Eyes you don't trust, but the fingers of beckon. How long you got left? Well, how long do you reckon? But who goes to waste when you're tasting the flavor of night? And you, yeah, you, with your ice cream hands, you, yeah, you are my friend. So I don't know if many of you watch What We Do in the Shadows. You know that? It's there's 3 vampires in New York. One of them's British, and I really relate to that. As an it's pretty much what expatriate life is like. And they used this song. I was very excited to see at the end titles for a recent episode. Here we go. But they found a copy of the mix with the saxophones on, which I don't have anymore, so that's exciting. This has phantom saxes, but honestly, I'd rather keep it that way. If y'all want to imagine sax parts, it's amazing. This room, you could put a pretty big dirigible in here, couldn't you? I keep thinking, I mean, you could have like a miniature Zeppelin, you could have twin pumpkins, you could have a big old zucchini with portholes and a cheery pilot waving through the portholes. Or you could have all 3 if you made them smaller. I mean, obviously, the smaller your dirigibles, the more you can have. But then you get a negative point where your dirigibles are so small, they're just like little gherkins, you know? And y'all wouldn't, especially in a dark place like this, know whether there were any miniature dirigible gherkins on the ceiling or not. And I think it's that sense of paranoia that he eats into us all from time to time. But what can you do? You know, you try and control your mind. Your mind isn't a horse. Your mind is, it doesn't have a saddle. And it hasn't got horseshoes on it. Imagine a mind running amok with horseshoes. You know, supposing it broke out of your head and stomped all over your escritoire. Rough, baby, rough. Okay, again, I don't mention that in this song, but I'd just like to set the scene. Here we go. came bursting out of nowhere like a spear into the sky, and he cast his light on everything. It was like he'd never die, and he landed right on target, but the target rolled away, and it left him pointing nowhere. You could hear the children say, he's the fella, the man who invented himself. He's the fella, the man who invented himself. When you need her love so badly, but she's trying to relax, you can't work it with your fingers, so you try it with an axe. And he taps you on the shoulder, looking out for number one. It's like drilling for a rainbow or an iceberg in the sun. He's the fella, the man who invented himself. He's the fella, the man who invented himself. Nobody knows where he's from. Nobody knows where he's gone and gone and gone, but he's not here. When you're waiting for your baby to get back from the moon and throw her arms around you in a very quiet lagoon, well, that loneliness is nothing. Just imagine how he feels. He's the only person in the world who still believes that he's real. He's the fella, the man who invented himself. 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 Whoa!
Well, that's a friendly old song. Back to New York again. I guess you were all here in 1965. Obviously, the famous incident when Brian Jones, Bob Dylan, and Andy Warhol went up there. I think they were on the staircase at the Delmonico Hotel during the power cut, trying on each other's sunglasses, which I think was just so incredibly cool. My grandmother had a pair of Ray-Bans too, just like that. But for some reason, she was not included in the scene. But it's a shame. But there they were. They were very cool, three guys in New York during the power cut. There was also a water shortage, and three other guys in New York took advantage of this to save water for some publicity shots, and they stood in a bathtub with taking a shower with their backs to the camera, because those were prudish times. My grandma wasn't with them, and I don't think they were wearing Ray-Bans or anything. But there they were, they were getting water on them. And the thing is also, bathtubs were much smaller then. So the average, people were smaller. Most people, Jerry Lee Lewis was only like 2'7", The Beatles, when they started, were all under 5 foot. When they broke up, they were just over 6. It was a rapidly expanding time. These guys were expanding as they stood. And they were just, it was a tiny bathtub. You could have put hundreds of bathtubs of that time on that ceiling. And you kind of think, well, why was there a power shortage and a water shortage if everything was so small? But that's economics for you. Anyway, here they are. Fresh from the pages of the Young Physique.
Woody and Junior stand in the bath together and cover each other with soap. Cover each other with soap. Ted, Woody, and Junior stand in the frosty garden. They can feel their sinews harden, so they cover each other with leaves. Cover each other with leaves. Yeah, they cover each other with leaves. Cover each other with leaves. It's a wonderful world with a lot of strange men who are standing around, and they're all wearing towels. Ted, Woody, and Junior were disappointments to their fathers, but they had a way with lather, and they covered each other with soap. Covered each other with soap. Yeah, they covered each other with soap. Covered each other with soap. Ted, Woody, and June. Oh boy, let's get that that old rock and roll John Lennon slap echo out for the vocal on this one, please, Red. This is one of quite a few, one of my first sort of John Lennon type songs, and but it isn't by him, but certainly in that style. Let's have a go. Okay. Somewhere you must be dreaming, somewhere the world is screaming, somewhere apart. A space between is not a final answer. I'll never ever be a dancer, so get me fish eggs and a violin. I'm gonna burn your bongos tonight. Ooh. And let Graham have a chance, 'cause no one ever lets him dance, but all them see-through things are crawling from the sea. Somewhere apart. Yeah. from east to west, never ever come to rest. You know they're always somewhere apart. Somewhere apart. The flowers and the Geiger counter stumbling, and for his distant keys he's fumbling. Mule-headed man, somewhere apart. Now the phantom being known as Ryan has brought on a portable microphone because the unphantom being known as Miss Emma Swift is here to join me.
Good evening. Wow. Can I come closer to you?
I like it when you come closer to me, sweetheart. That's always a wonderful thing.
We're used to singing in front of a laptop, so I'm used to being a little closer to your armpits. Go.
Yeah, I know what you married me for. It's
Yeah.
a wonderful thing.
It was that, yeah.
And
The
I know,
stench.
sorry, I know what. Well, that's the thing, you know. I mean, that's the alarm signal, isn't it? If the stench doth not attract, then thou art truly repelled.
Thou art indeed.
And pray, fair maiden, what leadest thou to yon stage this fair eve?
I believe we're going to sing some songs, are we not?
We...
I mean, I could just sit here and tease you and then go away again.
Oh, tease me like Rod Stewart's hair.
Yeah.
You saw Rod, didn't you? I mean, this is
I
pre-Pando
love Rod
time.
Stewart and his hair. I'm very...
I think it's like a all or nothing with Rod. You can't really love the hair and not the man. Whereas I wouldn't say the same of me, for instance. Do you remember he appeared to us just before the pandemic?
He did.
That was, I think he was
In a restaurant.
Yeah,
It was very exciting.
it was.
I mean, not to our table, and we pretended we didn't see him. But really, we were losing our shit.
Well, you could see him. I could see this vague, blurred shape. Even by his stance, I knew he was a groover.
But everything's blurry to you, right?
Yes, and therefore by the Socratic method, everything is Rod Stewart. Not you, obviously, Ems, but you know. Let me just get GH. Is that all right? Okay, start with that. Here we are. Can we have a wee bit of chorus on this one, please, on the guitar, and you know, make with the cathedral on the voices if you want. Here we go. This goes out to Carla and Sebastian.
Seems like you were in a glass hotel. It seems like there is someone else as well. It seems like everything was going well. It seems like you were up there in your glass hotel. It seems all the radio was playing in the darkness of the hall. There was someone standing with you who just wasn't there at all, and you were laughing. Geranium came out of it, reminded me of you, and I was crying. Seems like you were in a glass hotel. It seems like there was someone else as well. It seems like a dream. Oh, there's nothing in the future, and there's nothing in the past. There is only this one moment, and you gotta make it last. And you are laughing in a glass hotel. Yeah, it's not on the next one. Oh, okay. Oh, it's probably in the I can take out the monitors.
No, I just want it out.
Okay, you do, eh? Oh, okay. Okay, Gran.
That part of the conversation wasn't for the mic.
No, I know, but it wasn't mic'd up.
Oh, right.
I'm just making an oblique remark afterwards if they wonder what we were talking about.
Oh, yeah.
The whole point is we're meant to have these arcane, Masonic conversations. That they don't know what's going on, but then they see by our faces something's changed.
Do you think Tubby's watching the stream at home?
Tubby had better be watching the stream at home.
It's weird. It's weird not being with the cats.
Well, it's weird on stage without the cats.
Yeah, I'm used to you singing kind of slightly covered in a haze of cat fur.
Yes, I mean, that's one of the big differences, I suppose, over the last 18 months is I've got used to playing with a patina of cat fur, which I never had before in show business. And I can see what I was missing. They didn't seem to shed on you quite so much, but I guess you're not as sticky as...
I'm not as sticky as you.
No, that's a great opening line, isn't it?
Good evening, Mr. Frankel. I'm not as sticky as you.
Oh, look, it's Rod Stewart. Oh, you know what? Let's lose the chorus for this one, please.
Right, hang on. All right.
Bird's head grow on my shoulder, and when I'm older, wither and die. Bird's head on the horizon, I've got my eyes on some other sky. Bird's head, tiny white fingers, archaeology lingers under my eye. Bird's head, with your round black shiny eye. Bird's head, silhouetted on the sky. Bird's head on the volcanoes. What does the day know? Why does it try? your round black shiny eye. Bird's hair, but you never ever fly. Bird's hair grow on my shoulder, and when I'm older, wither and die.
You're right. Yeah, yes. Okay. Boys, it's like we're here.
We are.
What's it feel like? Yeah.
Strange.
It is pretty
Nice,
strange, isn't it?
but strange.
It is. It is. I hope you're as odd as we are. But thank you for being here in a rather fetching kind of luminescent.
You're in a
deep-
lovely blue light.
That's what I was
Yeah.
trying to say. Oh, yeah.
Well, you were saying it in a really poetic way, and I was saying it in a really direct way.
Yeah, that's why it was easier to understand you than me. Poetry always needs an interpreter. Okay, let's try this. But without chorus, so it's going to have to be imaginary. Okay. Just imagine that this.
Sweetheart, you've been playing without chorus for 18 months.
Aye, I have that.
It's
but
like
I've-
switching from almond to oat milk. You just get used to it.
So what are we in now? Are we back in almond again, or in oat milk?
Well, you decide.
Okay, well, I'll just decide we're in oat milk. But if y'all want to be an almond too, Hang on, whatever it is, it's like this.
What are we singing?
QOE.
Oh, right on.
So I'm playing the piano rather vigorously. I've done something to my finger.
Okay. Well, here's something we didn't prepare earlier. Right on.
Okay, here we go.
Blinking on and off, it's the queen of eyes, with a carapace shell and her black lace thighs. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Rocky the pig is out on a limb. He's looking for someone to investigate him. I don't know why he never gets anywhere with you. Here I am again, it's no surprise. I'm locked in orbit round the queen of eyes. All I ever got from her was lies. In this horrible age of abuse and decay, it's good to know that somebody's looking okay. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you. Blinking on and off, it's the queen of eyes, with a carapace shell and her black lace thighs. I don't know why she never gets anywhere. I don't know why she never gets anywhere. I don't know why she never gets anywhere with you.
Whoa. All right, that's it for now. Yeah.
Hey, thanks very much, Miss Emma Swift.
Yeah, you say that. Christ, okay.
often dream of trains when I'm alone. I ride on them into another zone. I dream of them constantly, heading for paradise or Basingstoke already. I often dream of trains when I'm awake. They ride along beside a frozen lake. And there in the buffet car, I wait for eternity or Basingstoke already. I often dream of trains till it gets light. The summer turns to winter overnight. The leaves fall so suddenly. The sun sets at 4 o'clock. It's exactly what I'm dreading. I often dream of trains when I'm with you. I wonder if you dream about them too. Maybe we'll meet one night out in the corridor. I'm waiting for you, baby. Baby, 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 baby.
Yeah, there's some intonation issues with this guitar. I'm afraid it was supposed to go to a chiropractor before we came, but it went to a chiropodist. So its feet are in really good shape, but its spine is a little bit out of tune. So I'm just trying to pick what I can play on this, and there won't be too much of it. I'm happy to tell you. My dentist is very polite, actually. He's a comedian. And he kind of says, if that's okay, and are you all right, and do you mind if I do this? I mean, you know you have no choice, but he is unbelievably polite. And he's a Libran. He's not here. Emma requested this. It's a Raymond Chandler evening at the end of someone's day, and I'm standing in my pocket and I'm slowly turning grey. I remember what I told you, but I can't remember why. And the yellow leaves are falling in a spiral from the sky. There's a body on the railings that I can't identify, and I'd like to reassure you, but I'm not that kind of guy.
There's a bird outside the window. There's a word inside the book. And there's blood all over everything. And I don't know where to look. 'Cause it's a Raymond Chandler evening. And the pavements are all wet. And I'm lurking in the shadows, 'cause it hasn't happened yet.
So there's lots of holy relics on sale in the foyer, and of course all of the money that goes from these goes directly to Ringo and Tubby's Fancy Feast Fund, so we're very grateful for anything you care to purchase. As you probably know, Tubby, when the pandemic struck, lost his long-term gig as Brian Ferry's Quiff Gel roadie, and he used to take off from an aerodrome in Murfreesboro, just outside of Nashville, in his 1932 de Havilland Tiger Moth biplane, and he would fly sometimes for 2 or 3 days until he reached somewhere like Rangoon or Smolensk, or where Brian would be doing an underground gig for oligarchs or for, Club Med 18 to 30 people who weren't. And it was, but he would fly a very long way, but he only took one tub at a time. That's not why he's called Tubby. It's just an unfortunate coincidence, and people would make, yeah, one tub, honey, Tubby, which would, Ringo, his brother, has more eyes than Tubby does, so it's easier for him to do things. But Tubby, actually having only one eye, has got this it fits in really neatly with the synchromesh of the propeller, so that he can always see the little hole there. I don't know how that works, but I don't know how anything works. I've no idea how my own esophagus works, let alone yours. If I was to go to an esophagus class with any of you, I would know less than you did, unless we were both bonded in ignorance. And that's a wonderful way to be bonded. So many people are. Vast tracts of them, really, come to think of it. Anyway, little Tubbs and Ringo, they keep their esophagus irrigated with Fancy Feast by doing these odd gigs. So he used to fly this stuff over to Brian Ferry's man, Jevons, who would, he looked like Peter Lorre in Casablanca. He had a fez and a sort of sweaty guy with a fez and a big white suit, followed around, stalked by a peacock who, Natch, had Ray-Bans. And they would sort of wander around this, there was always these hierophants with burning brands. They'd always stand around the airstrip holding the brands aloft, which was good because it meant Tubby could see where to land and he wouldn't land on a battleship or something by mistake. He was very good with Jevons. Jevons would tip him 50 cents and give him a little tub of Fancy Feast, and away he'd fly. That gig finished with the pandemic, so anything you want to buy, it goes to them. And it'll soon be Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and then Easter, and then Labor Day 2022. Lots of opportunities to give gifts to people that you barely know. And what could surprise a chance acquaintance more than some music-related merchandise? They'd almost certainly give it away. You could then buy it at a fraction of the cost from the thrift store and give it back to someone again. It's a twofer. Check it out. So one of the many items we have there is my book of selected lyrics, and a lot of the songs I've sung tonight are from that book. There's also a poster from a song that I am not going to sing, and this song is not available in any... Oh no, God, it is! It's on a record. I'm sorry, I tell a lie. It's a record called Goodnight Oslo. I wrote this for a Jonathan Demme film, and Jonathan gave me 15 people to rehearse with. So it was a small house in Connecticut, so I had to do 2 sessions of 7.5 people each, and then put them together. Anyway, that's it. Facts, they're boring, aren't they? They're good for digestion. You won't even remember this bit of the show. You'll say, well, he droned on a lot just before the 3rd out-of-tune song he played on the electric guitar. And I was waiting for that nice woman to come back, and he talked about his cats, but cats don't fly.
Well, they do sometimes, Reg.
Okay. Oh, yeah. And there's a drum break in here which I will sing in honor of the late Bill Rieflin, who always used to do a fantastic drum break.
We're up to our necks in love, so rad. We're up to our necks in love. Blame Dad. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, and maybe you'll forgive me. We lost in my heart again. So what? It's all my fault, you say. Well, maybe, or maybe not. Forget yourself. Forget yourself, and maybe you'll forget me. I don't need this. I don't need this. But you got it. Watch it. Does this make you scream? Because it's all about you. We're up to our necks in love, so right. We're up to our necks in love, so sad. Forgive yourself. Forget yourself. Forget yourself. And forgive yourself. Maybe you'll forgive me. Losing my face, losing my form.
losing my temper, losing my place on the map, losing my home, losing my January to December. Now I'm twirling my cane out on my own. Sayonara, I'm a loser, but I'm walking on air. Losing my case, losing my friends, losing my tether, losing my neighborhood, my self-esteem, losing my mind. I can't keep it together, but together is not all that it seems. Sayonara, I'm a loser, but I'm walking on it. Losing your trust, losing your love, losing your number, losing your praise, your rubber stamp, losing your smile. I never dance, not even a rumba. But if I did, I'd be dancing in style. Sayonara, I'm a loser, but I'm walking on air. Goodbye, Judge. I won't wait for the sentence. I know what you've always wanted to do. Goodbye, Judge. I'll feed the same jury. I'm not sticking around for any of you. Sayonara, I'm a loser, but I'm walking on air. Yeah, I'm walking on air. Yes, sir. Goodbye, teddy bear. It's been real, hasn't it, teddy bear?
But now it's time to put on that big black cap and pass the final sentence. Teddy bear.
Well, I'll leave you with one more bummer. Matthew Seligman from the Soft Boys passed away last April. One of the first victims of the virus. But he really brought this song to life, as did Kimberly and Morris and the Soft Boys. So all I'm playing here is the skeleton. Still, it's nearly Halloween. Thanks for coming along and attending this live show. Thanks to Michael for keeping it all going, and for Sarah and Red and everybody who's keeping it going, and to Miss Emma Swift for gracing this show with some real beauty. Yeah. All right, folks.
She's walking down the street, me am just invisible, and who or what she walks with makes no difference to me. The people that she meets, she turns them into shadows, they're just there for her amusement. That's not how I wanna be, but I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. The night is black and thick, I wander past your window and I catch a cigarette thrown from a jewel-encrusted hand. It comes on pretty quick, I'm feeling like a crocodile in search of a mirage across the undulating sand. But I'm insanely jealous of the people that you see, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that aren't me, and I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. I don't know why the people want to meet when all they know is that they'll breed like rabbits in the end. 'Cause ordinary people on the street, they never know, but if they can't be rabbits, they'll be friends. And I'm insanely jealous of the places that you go, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you know, and I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. I just can't let it out. This feeling of insanity is thicker than a barge upon a shattered heap of coal. I know what it's about, like crying from a nightmare, and the one who lies beside you cannot hear to save their soul. But I'm insanely jealous of the places that you go, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you know, and I'm insanely jealous of you. Yeah, I'm insanely jealous of you. The damage that we do is just so powerfully strong, they call it love. The damage that we do, it just goes on and on and on, not long enough. Paint is cracked and dry, the name is now illegible, and everything is lost upon the cracked and blistered hull. Beneath the yellow sky, the lovers trip beside the ship, but all I hear when they embrace is just the kiss of skulls. And I'm insanely jealous of the places that you go, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you know, and I'm insanely jealous of the footsteps on your path, and I'm insanely jealous of the hairs inside your path, and I'm insanely jealous of the stains upon your cheek, and I'm insanely jealous of the way we never meet, and I'm insanely jealous of the fingers in your glove, and I'm insanely jealous of the people that you love, and I'm insanely jealous of the way you got away, and I'm insanely jealous of the way you don't decay, and I'm insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you, insanely jealous of you.
So it turns out my spare shirt is in London with Tubby on it. Well, here we are then. Okay, let's try this one.
I can get him to fly it in on his biplane.
Tubbs would, I'm sure he'd love a little trip. Yeah. Oh God, God knows what Murfreesboro's like now. Okay.
If you were a priest, I would wait at least up into confession time and crawl into your box, breathing like a fox, hunting for obsession time. And I've spent a lot of time on this to be with you. So please don't lock away your eyes. If you were a nun, I would surely run down to where your cloisters are, and I would intertwine around you like a vine. My grapes are where your oysters are, and I've thrown a lot of time away to be like you. So please don't lock away your eyes. Treasure most time I never spent with you, and wander through your head the words I never said till I knew what I meant to you. And I've spent a lot of time on this to be with you. So please don't lock away your eyes. So please don't lock away your eyes.
Thank you so much.
That goes out to Trudy Rose, who requested it.
Neither of us are
Oh, is
particularly...
that you? Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. How splendid. Okay.
So neither of us are particularly religious people, having just sung about priests and nuns, though I was raised Catholic, and at some point in my teenage years I converted to the Church of Bob Dylan instead. Which is kind of where you and I intersect.
Well, I converted some years earlier, yeah. So there we are. We probably met, yeah. I mean, I know we met, but that's very weird. We met at the altar.
At the altar of Bob. And,
The altar of Bob.
So I made a record of Bob Dylan songs and I put it out last year. And, it's called Blonde on the Tracks, and Robyn plays on it. And we're going to do a song from that.
Okay. In fact, you've...
Have I confused you now?
No, but I don't think old Bob... Has old Bob even played this live yet?
No, Bob has not played it. I Contain Multitudes live.
I think you've scooped him on this one.
He might play it at the Beacon in a couple of weeks.
Then they'll all know you did it first here.
Oh, facts are so boring.
Well, they are, but you know, insomnia's a pain. You need stuff to put you out. God.
All right, I'll
Okay,
have
here
a
we
nap
go.
later. Today and tomorrow, yesterday too. The flowers are dying like old things do. Follow me close, I'm gonna Berlinale. I'll lose my mind if you don't come with me. I fuss with my hair and I fight blood feuds. I contain multitudes. Got a telltale heart like Mr. Poe. Got skeletons in the walls of people you know. I'll drink to the truth and the things we said. I'll drink to the man that shares your bed. I paint landscapes and I paint nudes. I contain multitudes. Red Cadillac and a black mustache, rings on my fingers that sparkle in flesh. Tell me what's next, what shall we do? Half my soul, baby, belongs to you. I rollick and I frolic with all the young dudes. I contain multitudes. I'm just like Anne Frank, like Indiana Jones, and the British bad boys, the Rolling Stones. I go right to the edge, I go right to the end. I go right where all things lost are made good again. I sing the songs we experience like William Blake. I have no apologies to make. Everything's flowing all at the same time. I live on a boulevard of crime. I drive fast cars and I eat fast foods. I contain multitudes. Pink pedal pushes and red blue jeans. All the old maids and all the old queens. All the old queens from all of my past lives. I carry 4 pistols and 2 large knives. I'm a man of contradiction. I'm a man of many moods. I contain multitudes. You greedy old wolf. I'll show you my heart, but not all of it. Only the hateful part. I'll sail you down the river. I'll put a price on your head. What more can I tell you? I sleep with life and death in the same bed. Get lost, madam. Get up off my knee. Keep your mouth away from me. I'll keep the path open, the path in my mind. See to it there's no love left behind. I'll play Beethoven's sonatas and Chopin's preludes. I contain multitudes. Thank you so much.
Well, there's nowhere to go after that except somewhere out, but maybe via the past again, of course.
You love the past.
I know, that's why we're going there after the show.
Ooh, what year?
Oh, I think we're going to go to 1986, and we'll stop off in 1973, have a look at Sir Pico, and then we'll go back to 1957, see what Cary Grant's doing, go back to 1942.
Wrap things up at 1967.
Well, we'll zoom forward to 1967, and you know how all the hippies weren't allegedly in New York. Go and see the Velvet Underground in Boston.
Sweet.
And yeah.
Okay, so that's what we're doing after the show if you want to join us.
Yes. So this is from 1986, but it was already looking back, of course. Natch. Thanks for having us, and we will see you very soon, I hope.
One by one we saw the stars. One by one they closed the bars. And one by one we all went back to Mars. From Winchester. One by one the evening shadows fell. One by one we heard the bell. And I remember more than I can tell. From Winchester. Maybe there's no one there at all. Maybe there's no one left to care. Maybe there's no one there but all living in Shawford after all these years. Standing in the Talbot in my flats, far out Phil and Pat were always there. If you go then baby I don't care. This is Winchester. Water meadows curling round the hill. Bodies in the stream, I see them still. I don't wanna hurt you, but I will. Winchester, maybe there's no one there at all. Maybe there's no one left to cast. Maybe there's no one there but Paul, living in Shawford after all these years. Walking through the dark towards your door, listen to the groovers, how they snore. I just didn't know what love was for. In Winchester, in Winchester, there's no way at all. In Winchester, there's no way at
Thanks so much, everybody. I'm going to leave him on his own for one more. Good night.
Of light, the sun reflected from the waves in short spangles. The child air is born upon the wind that blows across the sea. In the element of summer, cliffs suspended in the heat, the air in columns, the tiny figures of the world are walking underneath your feet and underneath your hair. Where angels wander, I'll walk where angels wander over you. In the element of darkness, the starlight shimmers on the spray and falls towards you. Your perfect love was never there, but if she was, she wouldn't be, and neither, oh, would you. Save your illusions for someone else. Save your illusions for yourself, for yourself. In the element of laughter, a quick explosion and the slow return of sorrow. The tide recedes upon the bones of something beautiful and drowned in coral and in jade. Where angels hover, I'll hover too. Where angels hover over you. Over you. Thanks very much, everybody. Stay safe. Buonanotte e grazie mille.